Jailbreak banned, Pixelmator Sandboxed, Evernote in China, YouTube live for all, and the PirateBay returns. It's Friday, May 18th, 2012, and this is iWake. I'm Tim Chaten, and this is what's going on in the Apple world today. Good morning, and welcome to another edition of iWake. Kicking off today's episode is the fact that Apple is actually building out a new solar farm. According to Mac Rumors, the North Carolina Utilities Commission officially approved Apple's proposal to construct a 20-megawatt solar farm across the street from its data center in Maiden, North Carolina. Previous filings with federal regulators have indicated that Apple's plans to have the solar farm installed by November 1st with operational status by December 21st. This is great news and shows yet again how wrong Greenpeace really is. In other news is a nifty mountain lion hack. The hack allows a Twitter timeline to be added to the Messages app. The hack is fairly easy to execute and install, but for now is read-only and won't be released until Mountain Lion goes live. This lets you stay in one app for both Twitter and the iMessage app. I personally don't see a need for this, as I think two standalone apps are better than one bloated app, but it's cool to see it be done nevertheless. Related to hacking is jailbreaking. For a moment yesterday, in just a moment, Apple went a bit crazy by censoring that dirty, dirty word, jailbreak. Don't you feel dirty just by saying jailbreak? Well, probably not. Apple censored it by replacing many of the characters with stars, so you'd have J, star, K. The censorship went through the entire iTunes store, including music, books, apps, movies, and even TV shows. The censorship was lifted by the time I got around to checking this out. Not sure what was behind this one, but it seems kind of funny in retrospect. Last up in general Apple news is a discounted iPhone 4. Evidently, Best Buy is offering the iPhone 4 both online and in retail stores for $50. That's 50% off the other price of $100 that's typically found in the Apple stores these days. The offer is listed to be available between May 11th and June 30th. As noted by a reader of 9 to 5 Mac in Phoenix, Arizona, at least some Sam's Club locations appear to be offering the Verizon iPhone for $48. I'd personally spend the cash to get the 4S, but if you really want the 4, it's available at this lower cost. Now, on to some app news. To begin is Pixelmator, now supporting Lion's sandboxing features. According to their latest update, this update enables sandboxing for OS X Lion and improves overall stability. This is the very first sandbox-ready app. I'm curious to see how the app behaves in its now sandboxed functionality. In other app news is an update to Flipboard. Version 1.9 adds tons of great audio features. According to TUAW, a new audio tab offers several options like SoundCloud and shows from the National Public Radio, like Fresh Air, and Public Radio International. You'll also find podcasts and in-due music from the likes of Sub Pop Records and Epitaph Records. What's really nice, though, is you can begin an audio stream and navigate to another part of the Flipboard app, or even another app entirely, and that music, that audio stream, will continue on. The update is out now and available in the App Store. And other app news is the arrival of Bejeweled for iPad. The HD variant of this game features 4 modes of play, where it's to display support for the new iPad and Game Center integration. This is the first time the original flavor of this game has been made available for the iPad. It costs $4 and is available today. Now on to an interesting story about Evernote and China. The company released a specialized app for China dubbed Yanzhang Biji. Sorry about the pronunciation here. It's not exactly English. The traditional Evernote app is also available. The app will initially be developed in parallel with Evernote and share much of its code base and features, but it will grow into a distinctively different service that offers a number of benefits. These servers will live in China and make using the app in China much more responsive than using the app that everyone else uses. The response to this new app has been, quite frankly, incredible. Ordinarily, Evernote adds around 4,500 new users per day to its 1.1 million user base in China. But following the launch of this specialized apps, downloads have skyrocketed. Based on the first week, daily new user numbers in China have been greater than its 2 biggest markets, Japan and the United States, combined. Evernote is growing like an amazingly beautiful weed, and China is clearly a market ready for it. Another cool story in the app world is how a Kickstarted app worked with Apple to provide Kickstarters a pre-ordered copy of the iOS game. As many of you know, Apple's policies requires that paid iOS apps be purchased directly from the App Store, no outside sales. Six to Start circumvented the rule by creating two apps, the main Zombies Run app and a second stripped-down app called ZR Advance. The Kickstarter crowd was directed to install the second app and given a password to unlock the game's full content. Six to Start said that Apple offered some advice, including a suggestion that the ZR Advance app contained some free content for curious downloaders, and a requirement that all outside sales of the app be shut down once Zombies Run hit the App Store. So there you go. Cool story. One thing I would be concerned about is the re-downloadability of this app if they pull it after this initial run. If you are a developer, check with Apple before trying to do a similar thing, as this is not Apple policy, but rather a one-time thing, most likely. Last up in app news is, well, what I call a web app. That's the Netflix website. They got a major update, or should I say their web player did. Their new web player features a revamped control bar, the ability to browse other episodes during playback, and informative text overlays that pop up when you pause the video for a few seconds. This new control bar has a couple of new buttons, including a button that lets you change the language of the video and turn subtitles on or off. If you're watching a TV show or a series, you can now preview other episodes from within the video. The preview gives you an image from the episode, as well as a brief synopsis. You can jump directly to that episode by clicking anywhere within that preview box. The updated player should be out now for all users. Closing out the show today are a few different stories. First up is some clarification from Verizon regarding the end of their unlimited data plan. You may recall that Verizon announced that all customers will be moving to a shared and limited data plan. That is mostly true. Verizon iterated a new point that if you choose to pay outright for the device, so $650 for an iPhone 4S, you can keep your all-you-can-eat data plan. This hefty price tag may be worth it for heavy users, especially with that fast LTE connection that is coming out soon for the iPhone. Most likely that is. I can't make guarantees, of course. I'm not DigiTimes. So by enforcing this to all subsidized phone purchasers, they effectively kill off the unlimited data plans. Even if technically there is a way around it, I don't see tons of people paying $650 for a phone when they're used to paying $200 or so. Next up, I just want to highlight a nifty feature in Google Plus called Hangouts. And it used to be okay, now it's really, really awesome. So I'm a huge fan of YouTube, as many of you know, and create tons of content for YouTube. Something that slipped past me is that Hangouts can now go live to YouTube Live. The live video is viewable on iOS devices and provides one of the best ways to do a live podcast that I have seen. You get a live chat, you get viewable on mobile devices, you have an ad-free pretty much player and ad-free website compared to Justin TV and Ustream that are almost unusable based on their ads, and it's just pretty awesome. It's YouTube, so how could you go wrong? YouTube Live is still officially closed off, but with this Hangouts trick, there will be more and more people doing live content for YouTube. It's an exciting time, and I'm hopeful that Google can learn from this, that opening up YouTube Live for everyone is not a bad thing. And yes, I've tried this. You can hang out with just yourself. In other news is the return of the PirateBay. The site went down for what felt like days after a DDoS attack. Twitter user Anon Nairi posted a series of scathing messages attacking both the PirateBay and Anonymous, saying he was the reason behind this outage. In a post on Pastebin, he explained that I do not support Anonymous anymore. I sometimes help the feds. The PirateBay was a press release website for Anonymous. Then I had an idea. Why not take it down? So there you go. Even nerds get angry at times. Last up today is an interesting thing Virgin Atlantic is doing. According to Reuters, the service allows passengers to send and receive text messages, emails, and access the internet on Virgin Atlantic's new Airbus A330 to 300 planes flying between London and New York. The in-flight service is targeted at business travelers and will be available in all cabins, although limited to just 6 users at a time. a cool idea and all, but why limit it to 6 users? And how do you get in line for this? Do you go by the toilets and get in line for your voice call? Or do you just randomly try to call and find you can't call? Or can you send a text message to knock someone off your phone call? I'm not sure how this will work, but I'm sure some passengers will have fun with this. Anyways, an interesting development. I'm not sure I want people talking on the phone while on the plane, but nifty that they're doing this. Thanks to Loop for highlighting this cool story. Before closing out today's episode of iWake, I just want to remind everybody that iWake Again is airing tomorrow. iWake Again is for those that really like this show and want to see it continue on. I love everyone for listening or watching, but for those that subscribe to iWake Again, you are extra awesome people. The $10 a month subscription gives you a 30-minute audio show every Saturday as a way to wake up to iWake Again. It provides you a way to pay for the Monday through Friday show that most of you get for free. If you'd like to join the iWake Again community, head over to iWakePodcast.com/again. Once again, to sign up, head on over to iWakePodcast.com/again. Well, that's what's going on in the Apple world today. That will do this week for some of us, but not everyone. If you're an Again subscriber, I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. Talk to everyone else on Monday. Have a great weekend. Aloha.